Tyrese Haliburton got the Indiana Pacers in a really good groove. They're in Vegas for a semifinals matchup against Giannis and the Bucks. Winner advances to the finals of the NBA's in-season tournament. Early on, it looked like it could go either way. The highlights made it to Nevada. Miles Turner and Giannis exchanged dunks. Chris Middleton on the find to the Greek Freak. Campaigns looking and getting into Giannis, who looks at the rim and says, nobody's gonna stop me. The Greek Freak puts the Bucks up a deuce. Indiana's got a response though. Specifically, his name is Tyrese Haliburton. You gonna remember that name. The Pacers are now up by 8. We're still in the second. The Greek Freak going at whoever decides to step up on that possession. It was Miles Turner, and that was not a smart move. Pacers, though, in control. Turner getting a little get back. Nailing the trifecta. He had himself a monster game at the half. Takes the Pacers up by 12. Third quarter, Dame Dollar takes over. Really struggled shooting the ball in the first half. He goes 4 for 4 from the three-point line in the third quarter. 16 third quarter points from Dame. 24, 7, and 7 for the game. The problem is the Bucks had nobody that could stop Haliburton and this dude, Miles Turner, putting in work. Trade rumors over the years, still in Indiana and still holding down the fort. 26 points, 10 boards for Turner. Dame getting to his spot and showing you that he still got that wicked jump shot. The Bucks are up by 4. Giannis back, a part of this highlight with the tomahawk jam. Greek Freak daring anybody on Indiana to step up and try to block his shot. 1-point game in the fourth. It's Haliburton. I'm not looking. Up top we go. Is Obi Toppin for show? Toppin putting the Pacers up a point. Midway through the fourth, the bulldozer, Greek Freak Giannis putting the Bucks back up 1. We would go back and forth until Haliburton said enough is enough. Tyrese hadn't had a turnover in 2 games straight. He dished out 15 assists. You see Miles with the clutch tip in to put the Pacers up by 3. But when it's winning time, Indiana calls on their guy. Off the missed 3, the Pacers just wanted more right now. Haliburton's gonna get it back, size up Malik Beasley, and nail this cold-blooded three-pointer to send Indiana into the finals of the NBA's first in-season tournament. He's looking at his watch. Oh, no, it ain't Dame time, but it is game time. Haliburton, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 15 assists. The Pacers shocked the Bucks, 128-119. LeBron's got a lot of hardware in his trophy case already. I don't know where an in-season tournament trophy would go. I'm sure he'd find a spot. His Los Angeles Lakers were in Vegas to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. Winner makes it to the final of the 2023 in-season tournament to take on the Pacers. Out the gate, Zion and the Pelicans got off to a good start because he got off to a good start. Zion with a couple of inside scores. Zion only finished this game with 13 points, though. You see Brandon Ingram in the cut and the jam. The former Laker only had 9 points. You see where I'm going with this? The stars for the Pelicans didn't score a lot of points. LeBron did, and it didn't take him a lot of time. LeBron nailing 3 after 3. That's 2 in a row, and now it's heat check season. LeBron from the white line. Heating up in the second quarter. It's LeBron down the lane. Nobody even tried to contest that deuce. The Lakers led it 67-54 at the half, and this game never got any closer. AD with the alley-oop. Zion trying to muster up some momentum for the Pelicans. On this evening, though, it was a bad attempt. The Lakers behind LeBron James dropping 30 points in just 22 minutes of action. He's never scored 30 that quick in his entire career. Also gave out 8 assists, had 5 boards. Austin Reeves now gonna fire AD. By the way, Davis didn't have to have a great game. He had 16 points, 15 rebounds, only played 31 minutes himself. The Lakers cruise to the first ever NBA in-season tournament final. They beat the Pelicans by 44. Welcome to another episode of the Hoops Ferro podcast. I am yours truly, the one and only. I go by the name of Ferro. If you've been enjoying the great quality content, let me just say this. Thank you for tuning in, tapping in. Please make sure you hit the like, the subscribe button. It truly means the world to me. With that being said, I think over the next few days, we're going to spend a lot of time throwing up some highlights from this past season. I might even do some compilations with a few game highlights in one, right? Just to kind of catch you up 22 games through the season. There's not a lot of basketball being played over the next 3 nights, relatively speaking. There are a lot of games on Friday night, obviously. But then Saturday, you only have the in-season tournament final, which we now know will feature the Pacers and the Lakers. And then on Sunday, there are no games again. I think Adam Silver wanted to set the schedule up this way. So every team out there, if they made the in-season tournament final and won the darn thing, they would have an opportunity to not have a game the next night, to celebrate in Vegas. And even if you lose, you still get a night or so to celebrate in Vegas. So that's why it's set up that way. But over the weekend, I think we'll just go through the season and kind of catch you guys up on some game highlights if you have missed some thus far. I have not missed them. That's why you subscribe and you tap into your boy.
Now LeBron the other way. My gosh.
Heat check.
Oh!
Heat check.
Man, this dude, LeBron James, continues to light up the basketball world like he did year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on up to his 21st season. Ladies and gentlemen, what LeBron is doing at this point in his career, I have no words for. And I'm not alone. The haters are running out of things to say about LeBron James. Not only is this dude still balling out at a crazy level for a dude that's about to turn 39 years of age, he looks good compared to previous versions of LeBron. I could argue that this is one of the more healthier versions of LeBron we're getting right now. At this point in his career, I think you're starting to see a lot of the hard work that LeBron put into his bodies, the sacrifice that he did in his 20s. It's paying off as he nears the age of 40. Players always used to brag about how serious LeBron took his craft and how he wasn't a dude out partying with dudes in the middle of the season. He was at home with wifey. He was working on his game. You're really starting to see what a focused athlete in his 20s and 30s can be, even at the age of 40. The haters are running out of things to say. They're dumbfounded at this point in LeBron's career. We've never seen anything like this. He's pretty much the greatest athletic specimen we've ever seen. You can go back and forth of, is he the greatest basketball player ever? I get it. You got Mike, you got Kobe, you got Magic, you got Kareem. The list goes on and on. This is different, though. There are no questions. We have never seen an athlete at this point in his career be this mobile. I'm watching LeBron, and most nights so far this year, he's been the most athletic guy on the court. He's 21 years in. That should not be the case. It gets me to a smaller point as the Lakers make the in-season tournament finals off the back of LeBron James. By the way, no disrespect to Anthony Davis, no disrespect to Austin Reeves, no disrespect to head coach Darvin Ham. The Lakers win against the Pelicans had absolutely nothing to do with any of them. And I know AD had 16 points and 15 boards, but that was all about the second quarter of LeBron James. He took over the game, he hit the Pelicans in the mouth, and they had no response. We'll talk about them shortly. I wonder, though, with the fact that LeBron finds himself in another quote-unquote finals, if the Lakers were to lose to the hottest team in the NBA right now, the Indiana Pacers, would LeBron critics who are running out of things to say find a way to throw a little bit of salt on what's been a pretty great season from LeBron, 20 games in? I wonder, will the narrative be LeBron gets to another finals and losing? Sometimes I feel like LeBron's career has been defined by being overly great to put his team in position to compete for something, but then being undermanned. Because you look at that Lakers team, yes, they got a good roster, but so far this year, these dudes been in and out of the lineup. They haven't been healthy. These dudes, have been still kind of relying on a 40-year-old man to lead the way. If the Lakers were to lose to the Pacers, there's nothing wrong with that. The Pacers just beat on Giannis and the Bucks. Giannis is supposed to be in his prime right now, but Giannis lost in the semifinals. LeBron will be losing in the finals, and I wonder if the LeBron naysayers would find a way to flip this in-season tournament if the Lakers were to lose to a stain on LeBron's legacy. That's all I'm throwing out there.
Pacers clinging to a 5-point lead. Haliburton tries another three. Bang! Tyrese Haliburton from downtown. Timeout Bucks. It's an 8-point lead.
Now I want to swing over to that said hot team, the Indiana Pacers. Man, are they playing some great ball right now. You know, we talked about this on the platform the other day. Obviously, we know teams like Indiana that don't have multiple all-stars on it. Oftentimes, they play really good out the gate, but they venture off around January, February, right after All-Star break. They're a crap show, right? Like, other teams start to pick up their level of play, and then the Pacers can't match it. We've seen teams like that in the past, especially when they got one star who really has it going, like Tyrese Haliburton has it going. He's been the best player in the NBA over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. It's not even a questionable. Matter of fact, right before LaMelo Ball went down, he was playing the best basketball in the NBA. Since then, which was right around Thanksgiving-ish, Tyrese Haliburton has been the NBA's best player. He's not turning the basketball over at all. He's asked to get double-digit assists every single game. He has to shoot for the Pacers to have a chance because teams would just back up off of him if he's not shooting and making that jump shot because it looks so quirky. In the past, teams have been able to live with Haliburton going 2 for 6 from 3, 4 for 12 from 3. Well, right now he's shooting at a pretty good clip where you can't back away from him. He's super tall and athletic, so if you play up on him, he's blowing past you and making plays for himself and other. Miles Turner seems to be flourishing quite well playing with Haliburton right now. When you look at the Pacers, they might not ever slump like we're accustomed to seeing teams that get off to these hot starts slump. I'm going to tell you why. They're winning so many games right now, and because the in-season tournament has that juice, I'm not so sure the Pacers are going to fall from number 1, number 2 out east to number 9, number 10. We're already 20 games in. Again, it's possible, but because of this in-season tournament so creatively and nicely put by Adam Silver, we're already 20, 25 games in. The Pacers can look around and say, damn, we already more than a quarter way through this thing. All we got to do is play at somewhere the level that we're playing right now, and we will be a top 3, top 4 seed out east. That's the reality of it. Tyrese Haliburton has definitely been the 1/3 of the season MVP. I don't care what nobody says. He is the MVP right now. I know Joel Embiid's balling out. I know Jokic is still being Jokic. To me, what Haliburton is doing with that Pacers team as they prepare for their finals match, they should be the favorites. I think Miles Turner's playing better basketball than AD right now. The Pacers should be the favorites going into this championship game. Obviously, I'm sure LeBron, being LeBron, the Lakers are going to be the statistical favorites. To me, though, I think the Pacers should be the favorite going into the in-season tournament final. Obviously, I'm rooting for my Lakers. I'm just keeping it unbiased with you guys. Y'all let me know your thoughts on how the Pacers have been able to shock the NBA thus far this season behind the great play of Tyrese Haliburton. I'm loving seeing him and his pops just savor this moment. You see, he even referenced the Damian Lillard Dame Tob. Dame ain't like that one. He told Tyrese, make sure you stay humble, young bull, stay humble. But this is his moment right now, and he's celebrating every second of it.
The decision, get it up the floor when somebody's got that advantage.
Oh, my goodness. Antetokounmpo with the slam. Giannis gets the crowd fired up. Bucks back up by 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to stay here too long because the Milwaukee Bucks are still 15-7 at this point in the NBA season. They're fine. They're still a top 2, top 3 seed out east. Despite what I'm about to say, the Milwaukee Bucks are still finding a way to win a good amount of games. If we're being completely honest, LeBron and the Heat got off to a way worse start between himself and D-Wade. Around this time, if you remember, back in 2010, it took D-Wade coming out and saying, this is LeBron's team. Remember the infamous bump from LeBron to Eric Spoelstra, Miami Heat head coach, during that. I think they were in Dallas at the time. Be clear, the Milwaukee Bucks are nowhere near where the Heat were then, trying to figure it out year one of the Miami experience, right? I got to be fair. But I do want to put this on your horizon, though. I'm looking at the Milwaukee Bucks, and I'm telling y'all, I'm somebody that's been a fan of Giannis. I'm a Lakers fan, but y'all know I love me some Giannis. I went out to L.A. last season for my birthday. I went out to L.A., and I caught the Bucks on that Clippers-Lakers homestand. So I saw Giannis against the Lakers the one night, and then the next night I saw Giannis against the Clippers. Now, LeBron and Kawhi didn't play in either one of those games. I don't want to talk about that. But what I'm telling you is I love me some Giannis, man. I think I thought at the time he was the game's greatest player. Now I give that title to Jokic. But the point remains, he's an incredible player and one of the hardest workers I think this game has ever seen. With that being said, though, something's off with this Milwaukee Bucks team, and I'm telling y'all, I'm not making this up. And if the playoffs were to start today, which obviously they don't, the Milwaukee Bucks got a lot of time to figure this thing out after acquiring Damian Lillard this past offseason and late in the offseason too. If the playoffs were to start today, though, I don't believe the Bucks get past the Boston Celtics. Matter of fact, I think the Celtics might get rid of Milwaukee in 5 games. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'll take it a step further. I believe it would take the Milwaukee Bucks 6 games right now to get past Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, I got Milwaukee winning that one, but it would take all of 6 games. And I'll take it a step further, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this one. Right now, it appears as if, though, the Miami Heat are going to have another one of those seasons where they struggle to get into the playoffs, right? I'm just looking at the standings. Miami Heat are the 7th seed right now. Assuming the Bucks get a top 2 seed, there's a good chance we could get another rematch of Milwaukee and Miami in the first round. Obviously, it's been a difficult matchup for Giannis in his career against Miami. I thought he had figured him out. He beat him a couple times over. Now we back struggling again. I'm going to say it. Right now, I believe the Miami Heat, currently constructed, even though the Bucks went out and got Dame and the Heat did not, I believe right now Miami could take the Bucks 7 games. I would probably pick Milwaukee in 7, but right now, with the fact that the Bucks went and got Dame and the Heat did not, you don't even want to know what I think if Miami would have messed around and got Dame this offseason, what I would think about that series. I'm just going to say Dame and Giannis have not been a seamless fit like I thought it would be. It appears it's going to take some time. If you look at the numbers, Giannis is averaging 30, 10, and 5. That's great. Dame is averaging 25 and 5, 6, 7 assists. That's pretty damn good. But I'm looking at Chris Middleton, who's averaging about 12.4 points a game, and he looks like a shell of himself. He does. This team needs a couple of dogs. I've been screaming that for Milwaukee for years. I believe they need some more athleticism on the perimeter. I do believe they need another guy or two. I like Malik Beasley. He's been shooting the ball well, but I don't think that's what the Bucks need. Not what they want. I think they need somebody that's going to commit to defense on that perimeter with Dame because that's not his specialty. All I'm saying is keep your eye on the Milwaukee Bucks because I just knew Giannis, who's a big game player, was going to come out and shut down the Pacers no matter what. Giannis got his numbers. Be clear, he was super aggressive on offense. Dame had a great third quarter. But if we're being honest, though, Tyrese Haliburton stepped up, and the Bucks had no answer for him. And I'm just not used to seeing that when Giannis has a full collection of guys healthy. I'm just used to Giannis stepping up and winning those games. That wasn't the case against the Pacers. And what was pretty much as big a regular season game can be in December.
And out. It's a pass to Jones. Williamson right there to push it back in. What is that, 4th time already?
I saw a conversation get broached on Beyonce and LeBron's internet the other day, and I thought it was a good one. Has Zion Williamson become an afterthought to NBA fans? I think we're close to being at that spot right now. Zion is not having a good year. Now, the Pelicans are a really good team. So they've been able to kind of get around it. Zion's had a couple of really good games, but for the most part, though, he's been a cog of a puzzle. And Zion's admitted to you that he's trying his best to listen to Coach Green and the system that he's trying to implement. The Pelicans got as many toys as they've had, in quite some time. But it's not necessarily working out the greatest for Zion. I mean, people are still questioning, is this dude really in great physical shape? He's a basketball player. If he were really hooping 3-4 times a day, you're going to sweat and lose weight with that amount of cardio. We hear stories about Mike and Kobe, how they could barely put on muscle because of how many times they worked out a day, right? People are like, yo, Zion's not doing that, and fans are kind of moving on. I think Jokic is a bigger deal right now. Wembanyama definitely is a bigger deal. I would even argue Chet's a bigger deal. And obviously Ja and Luka are bigger deals as well. I don't know if the casual NBA fan even cares about the Zion Williamson basketball story. Honestly, when Zion name come up in the spaces that I'm in, mostly people making jokes about him being in the Porn Stars and loving Dallas, Texas. That's not good. This was an incredible talent that is not only not being a part of big games, he's usually injured in March, April, or May. This is probably as big a regular season game he had against the Lakers. And I mean, they just laid an egg. That was embarrassing. LeBron doesn't win games by that many points since he's been on the Lakers. Like, they don't blow people out that often. To get busted by 44 and pretty much the game wasn't competitive after 8 minutes were remaining in the third quarter, like to not be competitive for the last 20 minutes of a basketball game on a neutral court, that's bad. I was not expecting that one. I thought we were getting Zion versus Giannis in the finals. Now we're getting LeBron versus Haliburton in the finals. I was wrong. Thank God I ain't putting no picks in on that one because I would have been dead wrong. Because Zion and the Pelicans, they laid an egg. At least Giannis and the Bucks came to play. Zion and the Pelicans, that was awful. I want to thank y'all so much for the time, love, and supporting another episode of the Who's Ferro podcast. If you have not done so, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, you're liking the content, all that great stuff. I appreciate it. Happy holidays from Ferro to yours. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am Ferro.